Hello there. So will be a quick video about one of the most unused and undocumented features of Chlorine that I use almost every day. So to start with, I am working on trying to solve some issues with the Pathom, with the latest edition of Chlorine that broke something. And I want to know what exactly is happening. So I have all these resolvers here and I don't want to check one by one. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to use a JavaScript library that renders graphs, renders UML diagrams. So it's this library here. It has this really complicated name to pronunciate, but it will do what I want. It will generate this SVG diagram using text, and that's the point, right? So if I do A to B, it will generate A to B, and if I write use case here, it will transform into a circle. And that's one of the points that I want to do. I want to have the inputs as circles and the resolver name as a square. So I would have something like this. Let's say that I don't know, something like this. So I know that this input will be fed into this resolver, and then it will output this information here. Okay, so to do that, I am going to install NomnoML in the Atom packages. So atom home currently is .atom in my root, my home directory. So I'm going to npm install nomnoml, and then I have now a node modulis in the Atom. And now what I can do is do chlorine open config. So I'm opening my config file. It's really big because I use it every day with multiple issues. So I am going to add this simple code here. It is just it's exactly the same as evaluate top block, but will not evaluate only, it will use eval interactive. So I want to do an interactive render. And now I am going to require from the node modulis package, the package NomnoML. So this dot here is relative to the root of my project. In this case, in the root of Atom. In this case, it's home.atom. I want to make this better. I'm not sure how, but I believe I can do it a little bit better. Like, instead of putting everything in this home Atom directory, I could maybe create a subfolder called Chlorine and put all the renders there. I think it will be a better solution. Okay, so for now, I am requiring this NomnoML, and I can print the contents of this file. If I save my config, you will see that now I have all the contents of NomnoML here. And the function that I want to use is this render SVG. So let's do that. If you look at the NomnoML documentation, you'll see that you have to use render SVG, and then it will give you just the SVG string. So I am going to create a tag and set the inner HTML with the tag with the contents of my text. And I'm going to register this function here as the custom element p. Let's just put pml. Alright, let me remove this we are in here. Okay. So just by doing that and saving the file, I already have this tag registered. So let's go to Pathom. What I want to do is something like this, interactive top block. As you can see, it renders the editor. So how I am doing this? So resolvers, in this case original resolvers, is the Chlorine object that have all my resolvers. And as you can see, if you know Pathom, you will see that this is just a map. A single resolver is a map of a symbol, a function, and inputs and outputs. So in this case, this resolver have no input, but have lots of outputs. But have one output. So in this case, I think it's what we call a root resolver. That's something that resolves without any kind of input. And I just found out an error in my code here. So what I am going to do is, for each resolver in my element, for each resolver, I want to get the symbol of that resolver, so it will appear at least once, always. So that's how I am doing that. And let's just see what's the result. Okay, so now I have the symbols of all my resolvers. Nothing fancy here. Alright, so each of these resolvers will need to check inputs and outputs. So I want to check if there is any input. So I believe I can do this with a let. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to map a string here. So it will be my input with my, let's just use PRSTR here, with my symbol. And this is all for my inputs, I think. Oh, sorry. Pathom connect input of my resolver. It's got a little big, so I'm going to break lines. Okay, and the outputs is exactly the same, but with things in reverse order. So my symbol here, and I will go to my output, and this ceases to exist. And this is output. Alright, so for now let's just join the strings. A string So I'm going to do that. I'm going to join inputs, and I'm going to join outputs. Oh, in fact, I can just join concat inputs with outputs. Right. Okay, so now I have inputs here and outputs there. So I'm just going to fix this part here with this part here, and there's something else. Yeah, I just need to have a space, I believe. Alright, so I have like REPL tooling, Pathom editor data will generate editor data will be fed into this part of the code, and then these are the outputs and so on and so forth. Alright, I believe I have to fix a thing here, that there are some resolvers that have like this one. As you can see, we have a square bracket here, and NomnoML will not accept the square bracket, so I will have to fix that. And I told this video would be small, but it's already 10 minutes long. But anyway, let's follow up. Okay, so what I am going to do, I am going to generate a normalize function that will just pick up my contents, and then we'll apply replace that. Let's just replace everything with, clojure.string replace. I am using clojure.string because I don't know if I will have this namespace imported on my namespace. So I'm going to use the full qualified name. Nothing fancy here, it's not production code, so I don't have to worry about that. And this will have to go with a PR str in the beginning. So let's see. Inputs we use this normalize function. Outputs we use this normalize function also. And I think okay, what's wrong here? Oh, I think I did something wrong somewhere. Oh, yes. It's a reject space, so this needs to be quoted. Right. Okay, so now I believe things are correct. Yeah. var full qualified name have this normal parentheses and not square brackets. Okay, this will be our state, and the 8ml file will have to be pml, yeah, exactly, with that state. NomnoML expects a string, so I am going to use str join new line with string. This code here will be evaluated by Chlorine, so it's not ClojureScript code. Well, it is ClojureScript code, but it's evaluated by the work you do with this SCI. So this alias will always be defined, so I don't have to worry about using the full qualified name here. In fact, I believe if I do use the full qualified name, it will not work. Alright, so let's do interactive top block and hope things work out. And it did, but it evaluated top to bottom, and also there are some problems with the arrows. The color code is not that good, so I am going to copy these configurations of NomnoML. So I am telling him that the directory is from right to left, and the directory is to the right, and the stroke is this different color here. So now when I do interactive top block, you will see that it evaluates everything that I have as my resolver. So what I am trying to fix is this file contents. It's not happening with the condo resolver. It needs to have a REPL connected. So now I can follow easily like file contents, depends on position resolver, and only position resolver returns file contents, and position resolver needs to have REPL CLJ. It's this path here. So I know that file contents will never be resolved by the condo, because everything that's condo here, like metadata from condo, will feed position resolver, but position resolver also depends on REPL CLJ, so it will never work. So what I am going to do right now, and I'm not gonna extend this video anymore, is to fix the code so that file contents will depend on another resolver that only uses information from CLJ condo, so things will keep working as they were. So I hope you enjoy this little presentation here, this little code. Oh, one other thing is that I wasn't aware that I need to use my use case here. So if I put use case here, you will see now that every attribute is now a circle. So it's easier to define, to see what's an attribute and what is a resolver. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you like the experiment, and like this feature of Chlorine that I am very proud of having, mostly because I use it every day from most of my projects. I do have some specific code to get diagrams with the dependency graph, and I am curious to see what will come up, if anyone can come up with great uses for this kind of feature. Thanks.